So let's get into setting up the cycles. Okay, so setting up the higher and lower cycles. This is where you get to do this for yourself. Now, let me just talk to it before I get into the notes. Simply said, what you do is you take the cycle that you're working with and you divide it by 4. You've already done this by using your quadrants, by starting and finishing a cycle and then going back and setting up quadrants. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, if you have been paying close attention, or if you don't know by now, each one of these quadrants actually are a cycle of the lower time frame. So over here, what you're seeing is 4 times 8-minute charts. Okay, so for 4 times 8-minute cycles. And within every single one of these, you'll get the MTOP setup. So you get 10 turning points. And then again, when you break the 8-minute down into the lower cycle, you're going to get a 2-minute chart with 10 turning points, and exactly all the same rules apply, which is absolutely mind-blowing, guys. If you're intellectual and cognitive and someone who just loves to learn and that kind of stuff, if you just try and consider the logic behind this and how mad it is that it all works together, like you just have such a warm feeling in your heart for the universe and how beautiful it all is. Because I mean, you have to appreciate that. So what I'm trying to emphasize here, guys, is that if you go down to the lower cycles, you'll see that the quadrants over here, well, again, will create a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, boom, end, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, boom, end, da 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 da, da, and so on and so on. Same thing over here on the 1, 2, 8. Let's get rid of you and get rid of you too. So let me just zoom in to kind of emphasize that. So this cycle, without even going to the 8 minutes, I can tell you will also do the exact same thing. So just to emphasize my point a little bit better with a visual, I'm going to go to my cyclic lines, which you've used before to draw up your quadrants. And then from there, you can see that there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, long 7, 8, 9. No, 9 will be over there. So it'll be 7, 8, 9, and then 10 into the next cycle. And that's how it works, right? So it's all linked together by quadrants, the number 4, and of course universal, beautiful, beautiful math. Okay, setting up higher and lower cycles. We use the length of the current quadrant to set the length of the cycle below. The length of the cycle then gets split into 4, and the length of its quadrant is used to set up the length of the cycle below that. Okay, once again, that quadrant is the length of the 8-minute chart, and you can go downwards and then you can go upwards as well, where the length of this 1 week cycle becomes the length of one quadrant on the 1 to 8. Okay, so it all works up. And if you look at the dates here, 2nd of May, so 2 plus 7 is 9. You'll see over here on the 9th of May, this is where the quadrant is ending. So that's exactly how we connect all the higher cycles together, right? Good stuff. Well done for following this, guys, because it is kind of crazy. I mean, trying to bend your mind around it, like, it's insane. Anyway, so well done for keeping up and being as amazing as you are. So the same works the other way around as well. So as I just described, we can go down to the 8 or up to the 1 to 8, or we can keep on building upwards. So from the 1 to 8, we'll go to the 5, 1, 2 and beyond. And the 32 will go down to the 8 minutes, will go down to the 2 minute, which will go down to the 30 seconds. So it's all divisible by 4. Okay. And the length of a cycle becomes the length of the quadrant on the high cycle. Okay, of course, it goes both ways. Now, how to split a screen. This is for paid members. As you can see, we've got 2 screens here together. Simply what you need to do is go to select layout, and you can go to the split right over there. So another thing, after you've clicked the split, almost like a halving of a book, you go down to symbol and click symbol, and you'll see that Bitcoin Tether and Bitcoin Tether, or whichever market you choose, will pop up alongside one another. And what you simply do is you go over here, you go to your yeah, I can do it from here. What you can do is then you will have a blank chart, of course. So what you do is you go right click. If you don't have a blank chart already, just right click. You go to remove all drawings. All the drawings will disappear. And what you do from there is you start from scratch. Okay, so how do you start from scratch? Again, you go to the dates of your previous cycles. All right, so let's get some of that back here. And then you say, all right, cool. This cycle over here was on the 17th of May at 20 minutes past 12, and it finished at the 24th of May at 20 past 12. So you go to this chart and you say, all right, cool. Let's just see where those numbers are. Zoom out a little bit. Okay, great. So let's start off with the 17th of May at 20 past 12 and put that in. Okay, so that's going to be as close as I can get. I'm pressing Option V. And then moving across the end of the cycle, Option V drops the vertical line, and for Windows users, it will be Alt V. So let's go to the 24th and the same situation over here, which makes me think, what's going on? So I'll have to look at this later on. Okay, so that's how you set up this the split screen. You gotta have a trade, you gotta have a paid version, and this will help to get the 32 and the 1 to 8 visible to you at the same time. So you can literally watch price move down this 2/1 line, 1/2 line, my apologies, which is going to mathematically translate to price moving along this 1/1 line, just because of the ratios and how they connect it together. Okay, so why would you like to see both? It's an extra layer of control. The cycles work together to tell a story. The higher cycles will give us a dominant trend. This is where you get to see the whole picture as described over here. You get to see a nice, beautiful picture of what's going on from an overall perspective. The higher cycles will give us dominant trend as described. This is where you get to see the whole picture, which I think I'm repeating. Use the little box at the bottom to navigate between the screens, as you've seen over here. And you select the symbol, okay, as I've shown you over here, just to make sure that you've got the same markets coinciding side by side, and you can independently change the time zones to have them side by side, because there wasn't actually there wasn't a function in the past. It's only of late that that's been possible, so this is like a new luxury for us, so enjoy it. And each screen will get its own object tool list at the same as well. So everything, just by the way, that exists in the one will exist in the other now that you've got a split screen. So if you click onto this little box over here, which will make the 32 minutes bigger, you're going to get the option to still use your objects tree on the side here for each individual chart. So you still get full functionality of each chart. Let's just close that out. And again, if I go to this one, you're going to see if I click on objects tool, it's different to the one before. So you still get full functionality, just more visibility and control of that. All right, guys, I think that I've exhausted your attention long enough for these videos. I'm going to cut this one off and just say thanks so much for tuning in. And I look forward to any questions you may have in the future. All right, ciao for now.